The TikTok what?
Leggings.
TikTok leggings?
TikTok leggings.
What does that mean?
There's a certain pair of yoga pants that like help accentuate your booty.
Okay.
That have been going around on TikTok.
Okay.
And people have been buying them just to like prove that it makes your ass look great. Women specifically, but I'm sure there's dudes who have done it
totally.
too. I don't know. It just makes me laugh because it's like it really doesn't change your ass at all. Even the design doesn't really change your ass at all. The only reason why your ass looks great in yoga pants is because you have a huge ass, and it looks great in any yoga pants. So, stop being a fucking idiot and stop buying this shit.
Just stop. Just stop the internet.
Stop being a dumbass. All right. Yes, it's designed to make it more accentuated, but if you ain't got no ass, you ain't got no ass.
Filibuster! Hey, everybody. Welcome to Filibuster. My name's Mike. I'm joined by John.
What up?
What up? Hi, John.
Why, hello there, Michael. I'm pulling up my notes real quick.
I'll breathe into the mic until you do.
All right. So, as you can probably tell from the title and the thumbnail, we're talking about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Quentin Tarantino.
Yes, Quentin Tarantino.
Oh, yeah.
Another film by the legendary director.
Second to last one, right?
You know, whatever.
He's supposed to have one more film because he said he was going to have this many films. He's done.
Oh, really?
That's what I think.
Oh, okay. Neat.
He's probably lying because
Good to know.
Quentin Tarantino. He's fucking batshit.
I don't know. He'll probably pull like a Texas switch and be like, "Oh, well, now I'm doing a show." Because apparently,
he's directing 600-Pound Life.
No, apparently he's looking to do a show off of this film.
Really?
Yes.
Since when? Is that like news? New news? The news?
At least according to Wikipedia, it mentioned
that right.
he's trying to work in a spin-off show called Lancer, which is one of the shows in this movie that, you know, they're working on the set of, the pilot.
Wow.
I believe. Actually, let me look that up one more time just to get the words correct.
No, we should just say, like, Quentin Tarantino's directing the new Batman movie, and it's not going to be a movie. It's going to be a show.
Yeah, and Quentin Tarantino is going to star as Batman.
And Robin as well.
Yes.
He's going to put on 50 pounds for Robin.
And then lose 60 for Batman.
What a horrible show that would have been. Well, actually, it might be pretty good. I don't know. If you're a Quentin Tarantino fan, let us know how that would work out for you. Because I'm curious. To be honest with you, John Boy, I'm curious. What?
Okay, a television series titled Bounty Law, based on a TV program depicted in the film, is currently being developed by Tarantino.
It's being developed.
Yes.
It's in development. Per se.
If
you would.
Per se. So kind of how, like, with John Wick, how they're working on making a show called The Continental.
Right.
This is kind of like the same idea. They're taking something from the movie and going, hey, we can run a little bit farther with this.
That's a good idea, yeah.
So let's run.
Well, I mean, it's going to be good. Yeah. I mean, it's Quentin Tarantino, so.
Curious if it'll star Leo.
That's a big actor to put on a show.
That would be. But then again, a show of that, like, a show with that much hype going into it, you know, and obviously if they do a good job, could be worth his time.
Yeah. Definitely could be expand the Quentin Tarantino universe.
Yeah, it could be worth his time and money. Wow. Because, you know, he doesn't get enough of that sweet dough.
No, he's hurting, guys.
Yeah. Okay, so Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Again, director Quentin Tarantino, obviously. It was released in 2019. And it's a runtime of 161 minutes.
There you go.
So it's a little bit of a long film.
Yeah, it's a chunkier time.
Yeah. A little bit of a long film.
Did it feel like that to you? Did it feel like a long movie to you?
Yes and no. Second time it felt longer, honestly, watching it the second time. Because you're going through moments and then you realize, oh, we haven't even gotten to this part of the movie yet, you know, and I'm still here.
That's how Hateful Eight felt long the first time as well, but second time watching Hateful Eight is like, woof.
Yeah.
God.
Still so much to go. Yeah. So it had a budget of 90 to 96 million.
Okay.
And it grossed 347.3 million.
Makes sense,
So,
man.
I mean, you know, Quentin Tarantino strikes again.
Yeah, this is actually one of the only recent ones I didn't go see in the theaters. I just missed it. I don't know why.
Yeah, I didn't see it in theaters either. But if you have Amazon Prime, you can watch it for free on Amazon Prime.
It's on Stars, too.
Oh, yes. So it is also on Stars.
Yeah. Currently. I don't know when this is going to come out, so it might not even be available for you.
Fair. Yeah, it's got a star-studded cast. Surprisingly enough, I mean, I would have to watch it again, but I'm pretty sure Quentin himself doesn't make an appearance in this film at all.
I didn't see him.
Not even as a background character.
Yeah, I was looking for him, too.
I don't recall ever seeing him. So that's interesting that, yeah, he doesn't guest star.
Who was the narrator?
I don't think it was Tarantino.
I don't think it was Tarantino
It didn't
either,
sound like his voice.
But I was like, who is that?
For a while, when I first heard it, I thought it was Brad Pitt.
Really?
Because it sounded kind of similar. But
Yeah.
I don't know, actually. I would have to look
Pitt.
that up, who the narrator was. But star-studded cast, we got Leonardo DiCaprio, obviously. Brad Pitt, Margot Robbie, Dakota Fanning, Al Pacino, Kurt Russell, Timothy Oliphant.
Yeah, dude.
Like, a lot of good actors.
Yeah,
a lot of
dude.
really good actors.
Oh, so good. So many great. And they all are like they just munch up scene or like screen time.
And
you know?
it shows.
Yeah.
It shows. They did a phenomenal job with their parts, no matter how big or small. Like Kurt Russell, like Dakota, Al Pacino, Kurt Russell, and Timothy, like their parts were small. But even then, the moments that they had, like
Al
I
Pacino
enjoyed
just soaked it up.
I enjoyed it. Yeah.
So nice to see. Kurt Russell was, I don't think he was at his best, but he was still, he's Kurt Russell.
But he did his part great.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. He wasn't asked to do anything crazy. So.
Right. Awards. So Brad Pitt basically swept any supporting actor award possible. He seriously he got he won best supporting actor he got an Oscar for it, Golden Globes, BAFTA, the Screen Actors Guild Awards. He even got it at like a women's actors or something like award ceremony and stuff. Like he got best supporting actor literally anywhere you could get best supporting actor.
Man,
the dude swept the board. And it shows. I thought he did a phenomenal job in this film.
I love Brad Pitt, dude.
Yes.
Brad Pitt, well, I mean, you're bringing me this movie. First time watching it was last night. And I don't know why I haven't watched it because literally Leo and Brad are my two favorite actors. Like, they're top for me.
Yeah.
And watching them play off each other, man, God, it's just fucking great. It makes sense why he won. I mean, it was an easy part for him. He's played much more difficult parts, but it was like he was just there, and his chemistry with Leo was perfect.
Yeah.
God,
I agree.
it was like candy.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Man.
Let's see. It got that. It also won Best Achievement in Production Design. And that went to Barbara Ling and Nancy Hay.
Okay.
So they got Oscars for that, which is awesome. It won Best Motion Picture at the Golden Globes and Best Screenplay at the Golden Globes.
Wow.
It won some other awards too at other lesser ceremonies, but those are the big ones. Those are the big,
right,
like on a poster.
You can put that on a poster.
That's what they're gonna put.
No, it demanded
the big awards.
Like while watching it, I was like, this is an award fishing movie. But just like any other Quentin Tarantino, where like it's just branching storylines and they all kind of come together, it's more like Pulp Fiction than it is Hateful Eight. It's everyone's doing something,
Yeah,
which is
absolutely
fucking brilliant. I've missed this Tarantino. I mean, I liked the movies that he's been coming out.
Yeah.
Like Django was Django was great. And
Rango, very different film.
Very different.
Very different film. A good film, but a very different film.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I don't know. And then seeing him come back kind of to form with this one, it was like, man.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of funny you made that comparison with Pulp Fiction, because Tarantino, allegedly, according to sources, he actually wrote the ending first and then worked his way backwards. Obviously, they didn't, do the movie that way. They didn't shoot the movie that way. But from a writing perspective, apparently, yeah, he wrote the ending.
Like, what? We're going to spoil the movie.
And then came back and said, okay, how do I want to get there?
So, yeah, he's probably like, what if the Manson family attacked the neighbor and they're two assholes? Like, instead of attacking... That's a great idea. He's probably like, oh, shit.
Which is, again, this is, Quentin Tarantino taking real history and twisting it to his own version,
like
his own will, just
like
Inglourious Bastards. Obviously, World War II did not win. We did not win World War II that way.
Right. But it was so nice to see Inglourious Bastards, too. You're like, yes. It's almost like triumphant. It's like, I know it's not how history actually played out, and it's kind of sucky that more bad stuff had to happen, but
but this was more like just our fantasy dream of how we won.
It felt like a dream. It's a bittersweet ending in this movie. You're like sitting there like, oh man.
So this movie this movie is the same way. Like, yes, there are like true historical moments that do happen in this film, but he alters them.
Right.
With the Manson family, and even then with like certain characters. Like,
like these two actors didn't exist.
Right.
So they're like...
Right. They're based off of other actors.
Yeah. But it was... Yeah. It's so daring to do that, too. Only Quentin Tarantino would do that and be like, no, I don't like history. I'm going to change it.
Yeah.
Like, fuck that.
Why not? Why the hell not? So, Michael.
What?
I ask you now.
Yeah.
Was this movie easy to watch? Did you enjoy watching it? How was it for you?
As a Quentin Tarantino fan, I'll start with that. It was super easy. It was just flowed right through. Easy peas. Violence was a little graphic if you're not a violence guy. It's a little tough towards the end. It's a little tough.
Yeah, my parents did say it's kind of a slow movie, but at the end, it really just hits the ground running.
It loses
with
its
violence.
Fucking mind. It's like, all right, it kind of feels, it's a nice slow burn. It's nice. It's realistic, kind of, And then it just fucking loses its mind and he pulls out a flamethrower. And it's like, what the fuck is happening? I was having a blast. But even before that, I love when Quentin Tarantino builds a world and he plops you in it.
Yeah.
And you're just able to go along with the ride. I think it was super easy to watch. I mean, for me, a little long, super easy to watch. It felt a lot shorter than it was. So.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So that's my. What did you think about the ease of watching? I guess because
I thought it was a really, really good movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Again, this movie is kind of long. But like we just stated, it's more, you feel how long it is more the second time you watch it.
I'm sure you would.
But the first time, of course, you're constantly in anticipation of like, what's going to happen next? Okay, what's going to happen with this character? What's going to, like, even, like my wife is super into, murder cases and like Criminal Minds, all that.
So she's all about the Manson murders.
Yes, all that stuff. So when we were watching it, when obviously we're looking into the life of Sharon Tate, and we go to the ranch where the Manson family is living and all that, and then of course there 3 members of the Manson family are making their approach towards Shannon Tate's
Sharon
estate,
Tate,
or sorry, Sharon Tate. I don't know why I keep wanting to say Shannon.
Shannon.
But Sharon Tate. And the whole time my wife was just sitting there like, are they really going to do this?
I was scared.
Are they really going to show this?
Yeah.
Like this is about to get really dark.
Well, when I figured out, this group of girls is the Manson family,
Yeah.
My first thought was, fuck, man. Damn it. Like, I don't want to see that, like that's fucking upsetting,
Yeah. But then of course a classic Tarantino swerve.
Yeah.
And it does not go that way.
It's It's so fun, dude. And because he knows people know this story and how it happened. And like they even put the times at 11:45, you know? It's like,
Yes.
so it was just leading up exactly how it went. It was like, wow, man. And then like, what if he ran out in a drunken rage to these kids?
Yeah, with the whole pitcher full of a margarita, just sipping on it. You know, what are you hippies doing out here?
I'll call the fucking cops on you.
Yeah, get this asshole mechanical wheel out of here. Yeah. This is my road. You know,
It's a private road.
It's so funny,
man. And he was like, and he's kind of an asshole. And it's like,
yeah,
but he's our triumphant like hero of history now. And it's what the fuck?
Right.
It's so funny. Yeah. Anyway, you can go to your next question. We could talk about that for fucking ages.
No, I was just saying, like, yeah, how'd you enjoy it? Like, what was how were the characters for you?
I mean,
any characters you didn't like? Any characters you wish did something different? I mean,
have you? No. Everyone was great. Everyone was fucking fantastic. I think their characters were so perfect, and they played off each other so well. What's that show? Oh man, what's that show on Euphoria? Have you seen Euphoria?
No, I have not.
It's on HBO. And one of the actors in that show was in one scene at the Manson house. She was one of the girls.
Yeah.
And she was the one looking out the door, kind of like telling the rest of the group that he's on his way, you know?
Yeah.
And she is wonderful in that show. And I was like, oh, I kind of wanted to see more of her. But again, this show is fucking stacked. So it's like, I mean, you can't really do much about that.
Yeah.
And it's already late, what, about 3 hours? How? Like, pushing 3 hours. So it's like, yeah, I get it. So I wouldn't change anything about these characters. They were fucking, I felt for them. I also they felt like real people because they were all flawed.
Yeah.
Like, oh, Brad Pitt was this good old boy who's really, really nice to everybody and all this stuff. And then, he killed his wife.
Allegedly, though. It never shows that he killed his wife. It's just everything points to it.
Yes, because she was being a bitch.
Right.
Yeah,
everything points to it, but yeah. It never confirms nor denies
because it wasn't part of the story. It's the same thing as the fucking golden box in a Pulp Fiction. That's not part of the story. It's just what they're after.
Exactly. It's not the main focus.
Yeah, it's great.
You know, did he kill his wife? I don't know, but who cares?
Because we want to act the same way as everybody else in the movie. We want to feel the same way about him. Like, he's a nice guy, but I think he killed his wife.
Yeah.
Like, which is great. Yeah, I wouldn't change anything about the characters. I wouldn't change a damn thing. Man, I wouldn't change a fucking damn thing.
All right, fair enough. No, I completely agree. I would not change a single thing with any of the characters. I thought they were all fantastic. They did a good job.
They did a great job. Fucking A, man. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, again, if you have these realistic characters and treating them like actual people, it was a breath of fresh air, man. You don't see that in movies, you know? You don't get this high. You don't get this kind of like, oh, I'm in this world with these people who are very, very real.
Yeah.
The little girl might have acted a little stiff.
Oh,
but she was a little
Trudy Fraser.
Okay.
Fraser?
Yeah, she was a little stiff, but that was kind of her character, so I was
yeah. No, I thought Julia Butters is the actor's name.
Okay.
Or actress. I don't know. She talks about that in the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought she did a great job.
Mm-hmm.
You know, child actors can sometimes be a huge miss.
Yeah.
Or they just suck.
Yeah, she never felt like a kid.
But
like it was
exactly.
That was good.
Exactly.
She could talk back and forth with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yep.
And make the scene fly. So it's like, yeah,
definitely.
Works.
That was great. Man, it's a fun film.
It's good directing.
It's a very fun film. Obviously, you know, it's it's set back then. So, of course, they've got to make it look like those times. They have to make it look like the 70s. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, you've got to... They did a really good job of keeping track of, like, what songs are being played on the radio. They made a good job of, the look of the cars, the outfits. Even, I mean...
I like the dancing. The dancing was all...
Yeah, at the Playboy Mansion and stuff. It was like, good. Yeah, that's... You know, they are all blazed out of their minds right now. Yeah, having a great time at the Playboy Mansion.
I love how they didn't just do, like, the regular There were some guys in the background just kind of like holding the drink, kind of just bopping. But like when the girls were dancing, they were doing the dances of the time, which makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Any movies that were on TV, it was of the times. You know, there's a lot of references to so many different movies and so many shows that were in this film. They did a really good job. Attention to detail.
Yeah.
Making sure that, you know, they're not pulling a Game of Thrones bottled water, you know,
or Starbucks
on set or a
cup
Starbucks cup. Like they did a very good job covering their tracks.
Yeah.
You believe that you were back in the 70s.
Totally. Attention to detail is always a big thing for Tarantino. There was that one scene in Pulp Fiction where, you know, divine intervention, you know, and he gets shot at and he doesn't get hit, you know.
Oh, both of them, yeah.
And then there was
Vincent and Jules.
Yeah, there was holes in the wall before he shot, and that was like a big thing for fans of Tarantino because they're like, oh, he's such a attention to detail kind of guy. Why is there holes in the wall? And then it was probably a fuck up. They probably had to do a reshoot, and they got it, you know.
Yeah.
But a lot of people think like, oh, because there was divine intervention, like it never went off or something. I was like, oh, that's kind of fucking cool, or it just literally was there.
I mean, you could still explain it away to where it makes sense.
Which is cool, man. Having a director that pays that much attention is really nice. I don't know, but
definitely.
Yeah, and like the radio was the soundtrack. The score was the radio, even on commercials,
yes.
which is kind of cool.
Right. I did notice that. Very nice touch.
Oh yeah, made you feel like you were right there, man. John, I'll watch more good movies with you.
Yep. Let's. I'm gonna reveal a couple. Fun facts.
You have fun facts?
Fun facts.
I love fun facts.
Yeah. You want? I think the juiciest fun fact.
You're starting with the juiciest?
Yeah, I'm going to start with the juiciest.
Juiciest of the drizzle down, bud.
So I think the juiciest piece of fun facts for this film is that George Spahn, the guy that Brad Pitt's character goes to check on him, make sure he's okay.
Oh, George.
Yeah, George. That was originally supposed to be Burt Reynolds.
Really?
Yes, Burt Reynolds. Unfortunately, he passed away before they started filming.
God damn it.
But when they were testing out, you know, just doing like line readings and all that, Burt Reynolds did tell Tarantino, you got to have somebody say, you're pretty for a stunt guy when talking about Brad Pitt.
So he gives that line to Bruce Lee.
And then, guess who says that? Bruce Lee in the movie. Bruce Lee is played by Mike Moe, which I thought very convincing looking wise.
Oh, yeah.
And, voice wise, too. I thought he did a great job. So,
yeah,
well done there. Although, unfortunately, a lot of controversy about that scene.
I would assume
there was a lot of controversy going into another... Well, actually, a couple fun facts. So about that,
lay them down, bud.
Let's see. Yeah. So the fight between Lee and Cliff is based on. I want to say it's a true story. All right, I'm not 100% sure.
Like a rumored true story in Hollywood.
Yes, okay. that Bruce Lee actually did get into a scuffle with a stuntman behind the scenes, and that stuntman's name was Gene LaBelle. And apparently, this stuntman got the best of Bruce Lee because Bruce Lee, of course, his style is, kicking, punching, all that stuff. Insert racism here. Whereas Gene was an experienced grappler and all about submissions.
So he's just putting him down.
So basically what happened is they got into a scuffle and Gene literally lifted Bruce up onto his shoulders and was just holding him there and just carried him around.
Oh, no.
And Bruce got really pissed.
Yeah.
But of course, he humbled himself, and I guess they learned side by side from one another.
There you go.
So up until Bruce Lee unfortunately passed away.
Right. There was I like the balls that took to kind of put Bruce Lee as kind of an asshole.
Yeah.
But also someone who was training people and helping other people out in the movie. And I was like,
yeah. Although Bruce Lee's daughter, Shannon Lee, didn't like the fact that he was overly arrogant in the film.
I'm sure she didn't. I mean,
wasn't a fan of that. And apparently, the original script was going to have Cliff just straight up beat up Bruce Lee and just win instead of having it stop
Stalemate
at a draw.
Kind of thing,
yeah. And not obviously a lot of people would have been very upset about that, but even some of the staff on set were just uncomfortable about that. outcome.
It's a hard thing to be okay with, man. I mean, Bruce Lee is something we all, grew up thinking like, oh, man.
Yeah, everyone aspires to be cool like Bruce Lee.
And he is cool, and he's still cool. It's like, I don't think the movie did Again, this is fucking fiction. Like...
Yeah.
I mean, I can understand the family being upset.
Yeah.
For sure. But I don't think anyone's going to watch this movie and be like, oh, Bruce Lee was an asshole. I mean, you have to be pretty fucking dumb.
Right.
To just take a movie like this and be like, oh, that's gospel now.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, there's two sides to that for sure. But that was a fucking great scene. That was the only scene that was spoiled for me. I was at the bar before I went home to watch the movie. And I was like, oh, I'm going home to watch it Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And this guy was like, oh, the Bruce Lee scene, that's the one that got me. I loved it.
I loved it. Oh, dear.
Oh, dear.
I'm not, and, I'm not saying that Bruce Lee is the greatest fighter of all time.
No,
but you can't deny that the dude was above. He was just an extra level above
human.
above humans in so many regards. Not
super
everything,
smart guy,
not
too.
everything,
Yeah,
but
like...
the dude exceeded human capabilities with a lot of shit.
He was like super smart. He was
insane.
Good.
He was insanely good.
Yeah, I love Bruce Lee.
But again, not saying he was the greatest.
Right.
But
he's a movie star.
I'm glad they changed it to being a draw.
Yeah.
Rather than like him just getting his ass beaten in.
I don't think that would have been helpful for the movie.
Right.
I think it was a good choice.
Right. I agree.
Yeah. I don't know. Good scene though.
Yeah. So, talking about scenes though.
Scenes.
Yes. That. Are you okay?
Just had a little stroke.
Yeah. Scenes. So, what was your favorite scene? What's your favorite kind of scene, son?
My favorite scene, besides Brad Pitt taking his shirt off. How old is he? How old is Brad Pitt and he's still fucking ripped?
I think he's almost 60.
What the fuck?
Hold on. Let me double check that before
Bradley Pitt.
Before some fanboy or fangirl is like, actually. He is...
I'm curious.
57.
57, dude.
57 years old, and boy howdy, he don't look it.
My God. He just ages like fine wine, doesn't he?
He does. He looks older. I'm not saying he looks like, oh, he's a spry 20-year-old.
Yeah.
No, obviously not. But clearly he takes care of himself.
Yeah, he does.
Clearly he does a good job taking care of himself.
Oh, man. Well, besides that scene.
Yes.
I'm also going to omit the flamethrower scene because that's like an easy pick. Like, that's like... that was just fucking bonkers, and I loved every second of it. But
that's fair.
My favorite scene might be when Brad Pitt gets home for the first time and has that conversation with that gorgeous pup.
Oh, yeah. When he gets to his trailer.
Yeah, he opens the beer and he just like has the dog sit. He's like, "Don't you whine. I don't want to throw this out. You're going to make me throw this out if you're going to whine, so don't do that." And the dog sit there.
Yep, slowly starting to drool of just like, come on, Dad.
Oh man, what's the dog's name again? It was a girl. It was a pretty lady name, and she was fucking incredible.
Let me look it up.
Yeah, totally. But I think that was my favorite scene, just because the camera work when he walks in, you see like with the weights, you see everything out in the lawn, and he finally gets to this house after leaving the Hollywood Hills and seeing the difference and the amount of like where he'll go, what he'll do for this guy because he's his friend, I think that, or maybe the end when he's getting in.
The dog's name is Brandy.
But yeah, and then like maybe the end too. Whenever he shows like his true colors, I think I like those scenes a lot when Brad Pitt kind of just. Or I also like the scene where Leo was working on his lines and getting drunk off whiskey sours.
Just floating in his pool.
Just yelling the lines. Like,
yeah. That was pretty.
Like, what is happening? Oh, he's doing lines.
Yeah.
God,
yeah.
It's so funny. I think those are my two favorite scenes. Like seeing them on their own, how the difference of their worlds and like, and how meaningful the little things are for Brad Pitt's character and how like Leo's taking everything for granted. Like he's not even working on the lines when he gets a gig, and all that. But yeah, I liked those scenes together. They were my favorite.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. And of course, Least favorite scene?
My least favorite scene, and I don't know if you're gonna like this, was probably the end. Like the fighting was awesome by Brad Pitt, but the weird squiggly way that one lady kept, you know, like,
oh yeah.
I was like, it's going a little too Tarantino for me in that sense. I was like,
there was a level of goofiness to it, I will say, the way it looks.
It kind of towed the line with like, this is like not fun to watch, kind of.
Yeah.
And I kind of wanted to enjoy that scene a lot more than I did.
Fair enough.
Because I was like, oh, he's being a badass. And it was really cool because he's like high on acid, just cracking up, like killing
just
everybody.
Laughing. You're like, are
Which
you
was
real?
I enjoyed it, but I'm also like, man, I wish the other characters weren't so mangled and like gross. And I was like, that kind of took me out of it. But that's just me, I guess, because some people really like that kind of humor.
Yeah.
Like, that's like almost like British style gore humor, like Hot Fuzz, you know?
Okay.
And it just like never does it for me. So that was probably my least favorite scene. I don't want to say it, but because it had some of my favorite moments, but it was probably my least favorite scene overall.
Understandable.
Mm-hmm. How about you?
Oh man, I mean, well, it's kind of like a cherry picked of like multiple different scenes, but I guess overall, my favorite scene was probably like when he's working on when Leonardo DiCaprio's character, Rick Dalton,
yeah.
Yeah, when he's working on this new pilot called Lancer.
Yeah.
Just like all the scenes there, you know, when he's talking to Tracy, what was the girl's name again?
Oh, I don't know.
Character
Butters?
No, that's the actor's name.
Oh.
Trudy.
Trudy.
When he's talking to Trudy, you know, and he kind of has that like self like realization, like an epiphany while talking to her and all that. While he's filming and he like messes up a couple lines.
Yeah.
You know, like just seeing how acting per se, or like how film works, or how it used to work back then and all that, and you know, his freak out in the mobile in his
trailer.
Yeah, in his trailer, the freak out that he has and all. I just it was just so much fun to watch all those parts.
I like how he actually when he came back and did that scene, that really good scene, you know?
Yes.
And he was just Calvin Candy from Django. It was like the same kind of acting. And I saw like Quentin Tarantino kind of not making fun, but referencing himself.
Yeah.
Because he's like, wow, that was like so good, you know, and you went so crazy, like the same way he did with the glass and breaking the glass on his hand and everything. Mm-hmm. And I was like, that's kind of a nice little callback to your own movies.
I agree. Like overall, like just those scenes all together were my favorite of the whole film. Although I will nitpick one little moment when that first, the black-haired girl of the heart. Wow. Okay. Hold on a sec. My words are tangled at the moment. Okay. So take two. When it goes into the fight scene. All right. So
the fight scene
at the end.
Oh, okay.
At the end. When it goes into that, and the Manson girl with the long black hair, the one who is like running all squiggly and stuff. Yeah. So when she first tries to attack Brad Pitt, and he literally just hucks a can of dog food just right at her nose. Yeah. I laughed so hard at that part. I just busted out laughing. Like she literally screams and is like running at him, kind of like as an attempt of intimidation.
Right.
And he's just like bonk. just decks her right in the schnoz.
Well, and kudos on
so
on
funny
Tarantino too for having these moments where you pour out the food and it goes donk, so it's really heavy and you can feel the weight of this can when it hits her face. And it was
right.
Like, man, that was great.
Mm-hmm.
That started the screaming, so I was like, man.
Fair enough. I'd say overall those are my favorite scenes.
But yeah, nitpick.
Film. What's that?
What was your nitpick?
That one where he like chucks the can at her face.
But a good nitpick.
That was a good nitpick.
Oh, like it was all good things. It wasn't like a bad like, oh, I didn't like it for whatever reason.
Oh, I meant nitpick as in like just not the whole scene in general.
I just want to pick
just that one little moment in the scene is my favorite.
Okay,
yeah.
That's so funny. That was pretty fucking funny.
Definitely.
I like how he had the dog in that first scene too. And he went to get his food. So in this scene, he's like, and he attacks the guy's arm.
Loyal dog.
He was just sitting there.
Very loyal
She was
dog.
just sitting there, Brandy. Oh, I love that dog. So cute.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, man. Anyway, but yeah. Anyway, what are we talking about? What are we on? I forget
We were
where
talking
on.
like favorite, least
Favorite
favorite,
scenes,
and
right.
all that. As far as least favorite, I can't really say I have a least favorite. You could argue that maybe some scenes have like him driving, Brad Pitt's character Cliff driving could have been trimmed down, but even then, I don't know. It builds up to the moment of like him picking up one of the Manson girls. I think her name was Pussycat.
No, she was great.
And thus leading into
That story.
more into the Manson family, where they're living, all that stuff, and him, beating the shit out of Clem because, he flattened one of the tires.
Okay, fix it.
That was pretty badass. It was pretty funny. Anyways.
So funny.
Yeah.
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 Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Uh-huh.
Correct.
Sure thing.
Correctamundo.
Okay, you win. Yeah, so I guess we already talked about the ending and all that. Spoilers. I mean, we spoiled it, and then the Sharon Tate and all of them are totally fine at the end,
Yes.
which is
In
nice.
Tarantino's world, Sharon Tate lives. Yeah.
Roman Polanski still has a
Sharon or Shannon?
Sharon, because you keep saying Shannon.
Okay. Sharon Tate. Yes, they all live on to. She has her kid, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. I actually
don't
don't. Now they're just making up a storyline at that point.
I wonder how that family felt about that.
Oh, it's fun you asked that because
you have
I
a fun
have
fact?
a fun fact
Yay, fun facts.
that actually talks about it.
Fun facts.
Let me pull it up real quick.
Bun fucks.
So leading into
Weenie
that,
bits.
so when Tex, when he says, "I'm the devil and I'm here to do the devil's business,"
Yeah.
that's a real quote. Mm-hmm. During the murders, he legitimately did say that. And then
I just love the fact that Brad Pitt goes.
he's like, "No, something dumber than that."
Yeah, no,
like,
something dumber.
Rex or something. Rex. Yeah.
Tex, that's
Again, a dude who's like high on acid, just like not computing what's happening at the
You
moment.
guys are real, right?
Holds up a like finger gun back at him, just like, whoa,
Oh.
this is wild.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So that was a real quote that was said during those murders, but of course, things played out differently in this film. And then Deborah Tate, Sharon's real life sister, gave her blessing on the film after meeting with Quentin himself.
Oh, so Quentin Tarantino actually met with her.
Yes.
Good on him.
Yes.
Good on him.
And after she read the script and all that, she was like, okay, yeah, that's fine. Probably because he was like, listen, I'm not going to have her and her pregnant body be murdered and stabbed to death.
Yeah,
that's not going to be shown. I'm sure she was like immediately like, all right, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm sure that helped. That's fucking terrible.
And she gave her blessing, so much so that she even supplied Margot Robbie with jewelry that Sharon used to own.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
The
so
casting.
so a lot of the jewelry that Margot Robbie's wearing
Yeah.
was actually worn by Sharon Tate.
That's so cool. Margot Robbie was the perfect cast for that. She's so elegant, like Sharon Tate was, and it was like, oh man.
Well,
that's
there's also just they looked very similar.
Yeah.
There were a lot of similarities in just like their hair and even just their face structure.
right. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I think when she was watching the movie, I was making a sandwich.
Oh, when she goes into the theater to watch the
Yeah,
film
she's
in?
actually watching Sharon Tate in that, right?
Yes.
I only looked over for a second.
Yes.
but
They actually used the
the
film.
real movie.
Or yeah.
That's so cool, and it did feel like a nice little love letter to her. I was like, that's so cool.
Definitely.
Good on Quentin Tarantino, and good for him to meet with the family and stuff. Like, that's awesome.
I mean, it makes you wonder. It does add that era of what could have been if the Manson family never existed, if Charles Manson wasn't a psychopathic fuckhead. All the lives that could have went on.
Dude, yeah.
What could have happened?
And that's why the ending is so bittersweet. You're just sitting there like, man. I mean, it's fun, but you're sitting there like, God damn it.
Yep.
It's such a weird ending.
Yeah.
It was kind of upsetting. I don't know. Like, Inglourious Bastards was just like, fuck yeah, you know, and then you're like,
America,
Yeah,
and
America's
like, down with Hitler,
Nazis.
kill him. Yeah, kill Hitler.
yeah. I mean, but then at the end of the day, yeah, they saved a lot of lives, but in that movie, but then it's also like Hitler, we you know, he already died. So in real history, like we won still, but this is like we didn't win that.
Right.
We lost that, you know?
Correct.
So
Correct.
it's like,
Yep, he claimed his victims, he went to jail, and he died in jail.
fuck yeah, he did. What a piece of
So,
shit.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah, I got that. And ending got me for sure. I was sitting there like, oh, God. I don't know. I guess we talked about the ending already. Ease of watching. Did we talk about ease of watching yet?
Kind of. A little bit at the beginning. I mean, what?
I mean, I think we might have. It was the, you know, it's Quentin Tarantino film. It's art house and blockbuster. They're
Of course.
one and the same.
Absolutely. Overall, I thought this was a pretty easy movie to watch. There were a couple scenes where, and it was the way that they filmed it, the way that, you know, he envisioned it. There were those moments where I just felt a little on the edge of my seat of like, oh my God, what's going to happen next? You know, when Cliff is actually at the Manson ranch. It's not called the Manson Ranch, but the ranch that they were living on, you know, and as he's like walking up to the door to go see George, you know,
it's
to
like a
check
horror
on
movie.
him. Yeah, there's like this air of like, is he about to get like shanked from behind? Is someone about to jump around the corner?
I just love how everything the lady said
is he about to open the door and it's just a dead body
Well, that's
that's
what I
like
was thinking.
rotting, you know, like
I thought it was going to be like Seven, where you just see that face, like, you know?
yeah.
But it was just so funny because he's like, yeah, we're watching FBI tonight. Like
Yeah.
he was just
even though he's blind.
Yeah. Everything this really creepy lady in the front was saying was just true.
Yeah.
Like, he's taking a nap. He was taking a nap. He's like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Thanks for checking on me. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Now get the fuck out. I gotta go back to sleep.
That was like the biggest troll. Like, Quentin Tarantino does that a lot. He's like,
Yeah.
I'll make the audiences just kind of go, come on. It was so funny. Just cracked up.
And even then, at the end, before like the fighting starts, there was part of me that's like, is Brad Pitt about to get shot in the dome? Like,
Yeah.
Is Tex literally just gonna pull the trigger and just blow off half his face?
That's what I was scared about. I was sitting there like, this could happen.
And then it doesn't happen. It doesn't go that way. But there is that
It's
air of
triumphant.
there is that air and feel of like, oh man,
I don't want
is
to
everyone
die.
about to die?
I mean, that's not far off for something like Quentin Tarantino to do, though. He could have killed
Right.
everyone off. I mean,
Yeah.
he killed off some of the best characters in Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
It's like, so I was sitting there like, oh, man.
Yeah.
But that is not the ending he wanted. He wanted a triumphant ending, which is
True that.
fucking great.
True that. Yep. But it was cool when they had like little nods to true life things. So one little fun fact about it is actually the actor James Stacy. So he was played by
Okay.
Timothy Oliphant.
Okay.
He was the guy that was working alongside Leonardo DiCaprio for Lancer
Right.
when, you know, he like messes up those lines stuff.
Yeah, he's in No, he was in The Mandalorian, right? Recently?
Yes.
That was him, right?
I'm pretty sure that was
He
him.
was the guy wearing Boba Fett's
Yes.
armor.
I'm
Yeah.
99% sure that was him. He also shows up in The Office, which is pretty hilarious.
He does show up in The Office. That's right.
Those are good episodes.
He's so handsome.
He is a handsome looking dude.
He's a handsome guy.
Handsome looking man. Anyways, so they did a little nod to history regarding James Stacy when his character leaves on a motorcycle
Yeah.
because down the road in his future, he actually gets into a motorcycle accident and actually loses his left arm and leg.
Wow, really?
So there was kind of like a little nod, you know, of like, oh, not good things are going to happen to this gentleman.
Wow, that's too bad.
You know? Yeah, I know that is a very depressing note, but it is a note nonetheless of like, there are so many moments when you
Yeah.
watch this film where, yeah, you'll just see like little blips of history.
Yeah.
And some of the historic parts that he leaves in are true.
right.
Obviously, he bends history to a degree, but there are some parts where it's like, yeah, that legitimately happened.
And a hopeful ending, you could take it as like, oh, maybe in this world he didn't get into that. You know, it's like...
You could.
Because they just let you think about it in just an ode to what happened, which is really kind of cool.
Yeah.
I have another favorite scene, or if I can bring it up.
Yeah, go ahead.
The mid-credit commercial for, was it
The cigarettes.
The red apple or whatever.
Yeah.
Because those are in every Quentin Tarantino movie.
Yeah.
And seeing an actual ad, the red apple cigarette ad.
Yep.
And he's
endorsed by Rick Dalton, you know.
It was so fucking funny because in that world, it makes sense for the guy he made up to be the guy who pushes his cigarettes.
Yep.
And then he's like, the cigarettes are fucking shit.
Shit. Kicks over his cardboard cutout and stuff.
That cracked me up. I was like, yes! Actually paying tribute to these cigarettes that you put in every one of your movies.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's every one of your movies, but it's in so many of them.
There's clearly callbacks.
Yeah.
You know, he's building his own universe.
It's been in the works. Like now, Hateful Eight might have been filmed on one of those sets.
Yeah.
Like, because it looks like that. You know, it's like, wow, that's so cool. I don't know. Anyway,
point.
that was
good point.
That was a scene that I was just like, man, that's fucking funny. Anyway.
I agree.
I don't know, dude.
All right, man. So now I got to ask you, how would you make the movie better?
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't?
Wouldn't.
You wouldn't?
I would. Because I know more than Quentin Tarantino does, obviously.
Yeah, of course. You're well more versed in history and
art.
You know, yeah.
And it just
cinematography.
Oh yeah, are you kidding me? I wouldn't have her screaming all weird and shit and waving her arms about at the end. And
I agree.
I'd probably make it violent, but not, just not in that way. It was just so fucking floppy and weird. It really was kind of a bummer because I wanted to like that scene a lot more. So yeah, I'd probably just change like how they reacted, like. But then again, it wouldn't work the same way. So again, it's so hard to change something in this because it's a fucking domino effect.
Yeah,
we talked about the car driving. You know, you can't change that either because he had to plan for all this. You know,
right?
Like, she wouldn't have flown into the pool if she wasn't like, oh, you know, like
true. And then have a badass flamethrower.
I wouldn't be able to see the flamethrower scene. That's so funny.
I did like when it shows him like testing the flamethrower. He's like, "Can we do something about that heat?"
It's a flamethrower.
No, it's a flamethrower. Yeah. All right. You know, like, just like, I don't know. Little moments like that made me laugh.
Oh God, yeah, that was so funny. Yeah, I guess that's the only thing. But yeah, again, I couldn't change it because it would. Yeah. How about you? Would you change anything besides those driving scenes?
Yeah, well, I'd probably shorten the driving scenes and...
Yep.
That'd really be it. It's just kind of just trim a little bit of fat, you know, off just to get more of just the main meal, so to speak.
Yeah.
But never I get it. It's not something that bugs me, per se.
Yeah, but after watching it a second time, you are kind of waiting for stuff.
Yeah,
I get that.
Yeah. It's not stuff that when I'm watching the film, I'm thinking like this was unnecessary per se.
Totally.
You know how with some movies it's like, wow, we watched him walk upstairs in slow mo. That was so worth my time. You know, thank you.
So stupid.
Like it's nothing like that. It's just one of those like, oh okay,
preference kind of.
He's driving again. Right on.
I hate to bring in Pulp Fiction again, but it demands comparisons.
Of course,
there's that movie has its moments too that are slow, but like, say they're driving in the car while they're having this fucking hilarious conversation. They're, say, you know, the girlfriend of Bruce Willis is, I want blueberry pancakes. And we're sitting there just like, okay, this is kind of going slow and kind of worthless, but also she's adorable and I don't want her to get hurt now. Like, It was all working towards something, and I think this movie did the same. Obviously not to the extent, because that was lightning in a bottle, but...
Right.
Yeah. You're totally right. I mean, you could, but why would you change it? You know, I don't know. I
agree.
Yeah. Here we are. Thanks for following.
Right. No, it's a good movie, ladies and gentlemen. You should definitely go check it out when you get a chance. I highly recommend. Again, it's available on Stars,
yeah,
and Amazon Prime.
Add-ons on Hulu, I think. That's how I got it. But yeah, what would you rate it, bud? What do you want me to tell you first?
Man. Well, hold on. First.
Oh.
Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh shit.
They gave this film an 85%.
85.
Yeah. I think that's fair.
Okay.
I think that's a fair score. Audience score though, 70%. Which is
70% for the audience.
Mm-hmm.
Did they know what they were watching?
I think it's very interesting. I think it was some people who were just butthurt about the Bruce Lee scene.
Fuck them.
And so they probably just tried to bomb it.
Fuck audience scores, man.
That's what I'm guessing.
No, they're probably bored because it was like, oh, this movie's too slow and it's too long. It's like, fuck you, watch it.
Right.
Get the fuck out, audience score.
I mean, as a last fun fact, would it help for those who are upset at the Bruce Lee scene or, whatever, would it help to know that this was the first film Tarantino did without Bob or Harvey Weinstein?
Hey.
Because the moment that all this, the lawsuits came up, Tarantino immediately was like, I ain't working with you guys
Fuck
anymore.
you guys.
I mean, come on. Show some props.
Yeah.
Show some props.
Yeah. Quentin Tarantino's a fucking gem.
Yes.
Okay. Well, you know what I would rate it?
What?
I would rate it 91 out of 100.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. I would actually go with the Rotten Tomato score, 85%.
85?
Yeah. It's not a film that I'm going to constantly want to watch over and over again. It's not a film that, when in doubt, that's what I'm going to pick if, Miranda and I don't know what to watch or, if, friends are over.
Yeah.
That's not a film I'm going to choose, per se, but I do recommend it for sure. I highly recommend this film. Any of my friends, I tell them you should watch it. And, yeah, if they want to watch it, I'm not going to argue.
Yeah.
I'll be like, oh, okay, cool, sweet, let's watch it.
This might be one of my new ones that I pull out, honestly. This is one that I'm going to watch a lot more.
Cool. What did Arya think? Did
she didn't watch it with me. Yeah, she was at work, but I'm going to, again, I get to watch it again, so I'm pretty excited about that.
There you go.
And maybe I'll come back and be like, this movie's shit for the second time. The first time was fantastic.
But I doubt that's going to happen. This ain't no Mortal Kombat. No.
Anyway. All right, well, I think that's all I have to say about it. John, you have any closing remarks there, kiddo?
Not really. Just, well done, everybody. Well done. We did it. We did it, all right?
We made it.
All right. We set up a goal, and we achieved it. Together, anything is possible through God.
What the fuck are you talking
I don't know, man. I don't have any last remarks.
Okay, well, from all of us at Filibuster to all of you at home, have a safe evening, and God bless.
Yeah.
This has been your broadcast day.
Let us know what you think about this. Let us know what you would rate it. Let us know if you think it was... give us your thoughts on the Bruce Lee scene. That seems to be like the real, tension point, I would say. Yeah. Let us know what you thought about it. Do you think it was stupid? Do you think it was fair? Do you think it was good?
Yeah, I'm curious what you guys think.
Yeah.
And if you give it a 70, I'm not going to listen, but, if you give it a 90, I'll listen, so.
Fair enough.
Anyway, again, this concludes our broadcast day.
See.
La, 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 la. Bye.
Hey, it's John from Filibuster. If you liked this episode, then like it. Weekly videos will be posted, so subscribe to stay updated.